We know that holidays make us happy, but why? And could we do the same things that we do on holiday in our normal lives so that we could get all that happiness for the rest of the year as well? Because obviously you go on holidays, great, but you can't spend your whole life on holiday, if only. So what is it about holidays that make us happy? And could we do the same things in our normal life? Well, I think there are 6 aspects of holidays that contribute to our happiness. And all 6 of these we could bring into our normal lives. So the first one is time. When you're on holiday, suddenly you've got lots of time because you haven't got any work to do. You haven't got any housework to do either because it's all provided for you. So you've got all this time, which is time to think, time to be creative, time to talk to people, relationships. So time is really important. So what could you do in your normal life to get more time? And it's basically saying no to stuff, saying no to things that you don't want to do, saying no to things that don't contribute to your happiness, and simplifying your life so that you don't have all the clutter blocking up your brain. The second thing that makes us happy about being on holiday is that we are not in touch with the news. We're not reading about depressing murders and floods and all the terrible stuff that's always in the news. So maybe stop watching the news. I do think there's a need to keep in touch with the news, actually. So once a week I read a little magazine called The Week, which just gives me a quick summary of what's happened. But I don't watch the news every night on TV, and I don't read a daily paper because they bring me down too much. The third aspect of holidays that makes us happy is sunshine. The fact that we've got the lovely bright sun making us feel good. We're making vitamin D. I think it generates some hormones in us as well from our pituitary gland. So sunshine makes us feel good, there's no doubt about that. So what can you do in your normal life? And I think is make the most if the sun is out. So at lunchtime, try and get outside into the light. You may not realize it, but even in a brightly lit office, you're getting much less light than you do when you're outdoors. I think it's 100 times brighter outside than it is indoors in normal lighting. So at least get out for half an hour and walk around in the sunlight. And in the winter, if you live somewhere like England where it's a bit dark and gloomy in the winter, get an SAD lamp or an SAD light bulb. They're only about £8 from Amazon. Just check out full spectrum bulbs, and then you can have one of those next to your desk when you're working. So you're on your computer and you've got your full spectrum bulb shining at you, and that's almost as good as being out in the sunlight. The fourth reason why holidays make us happier is we spend more time out of doors. And therefore, in your ordinary life, if you can spend more time out of doors, then that's great. Even if you have to put a big coat on and Wellington boots. When I walk the dog in the winter, if it's raining, I put on a waterproof coat that goes right down to the ground, and I have a hat that's got a wide brim. So I'm completely bomb-proof. I don't care if it rains. I quite like being out when it's tipping down with rain, actually, when I've got all the kit on. So that's something you can do. Get outside every day. Just get outdoors into the fresh air, and that will increase your happiness. Number 5 on the list of things that makes us happy when we're on holiday is exercise. Now, I know that some people go on holiday and all they do is sit on the beach and then in the evening they eat. And that's fine, of course. But a lot of holidays involve some sort of exercise that you wouldn't normally get. It might be a walking holiday or a cycling holiday, but there might just be sightseeing where there's quite a lot of walking around that you wouldn't normally do. And I think we can bring this into our normal everyday life as well and just get a bit more exercise than you would normally. Even if you can just go for a 20-minute walk every day, that will make you feel physically better and therefore happier. And finally, number 6 of what makes us happy on holiday, I think, is that we're a bit more mindful of our surroundings when we're on holiday. So when you're in that beautiful Moroccan fishing village or the Canadian rugged landscape with great big mountains and trees, we savor that, don't we? We take photographs and we look at it and we think, isn't it amazing? So could you bring some of this into your normal everyday life? Could you savor the sights and the sounds of your normal life, even your walk to work? Can you look at the way the leaves change colour on the trees as the seasons pass? Can you look at the light? Can you savour the smells as you walk to work? The smell of the pine trees, the smell of that lovely curry restaurant as you walk past it. And of course, can you savour the food? Because when we're abroad, we really notice the food, don't we? And then when we're at home, we take food for granted. But maybe we could savour the food that we eat more in our normal life. So when you're on holiday, you're thinking, I'm so lucky to be here. This is the life. Maybe you could say that to yourself during your normal life when you're not on holiday. How lucky we are to be living the life that we are. So those are some ideas where you can bring the happiness that you would get on holiday into your everyday life as well.